Hello everyone, glad to see you on our authentic channel. We haven't seen you for so long and now we're with you again with you Valeria and Tata.
And we are discussing our favourites of the best this year. Eurovision is a music contest that we love very much. And this year, we changed the format a little. We did record the reactions, but we immediately decided to make a selection. Hello everyone, we do it for everyone at once. And now we will tell you everything. We have identified the best, the worst and those who are good. But they will not win. Glad to see you on our authentic channel. We haven't seen you for so long and now we're with you again with you Valeria and Tata. And now we will tell you exactly about those who, in our opinion, will fight for victory. What is remarkable about Eurovision this year? The fact that there is no clear favourite. No, do you understand? There is no clear favourite since last year. Everyone knew that Lauren would win. This year, no one knows who will win. Because there are a lot of cool applications and there is no clear favourite. And there is an intrigue in this. The more interesting it will be for us to watch the competitions. Because in the end, we will start voting. Who is fighting for victory this year, in our opinion? Who has every chance to keep her and be in the first place? So, the first favourite we choose is Malta.
Well, yes, I like this song from the singer, first of all, because she is very fashionable. And her music is fashionable. Oh, this singer reminded me of Israel with the song Unicorn. Very similar songs. And they are both fashionable girls, stylish, and our singer from Malta dances very cool. Very cool. Why should she win? First of all, she has a very cool hook. In the song, in my opinion, where it starts with the words "Oh my God" and then continues with melodies like "Chin Chin." You want to immediately move on to dancing. That's what I think is cool and can take over people's minds. When some viral phrase enters your brain, accompanied by a certain movement, it's stuck in your head and you like it. This girl is also very beautiful, pretty, and I think she will attract attention not only with her songs, but also visually. She also has a very interesting voice and music, and trendy club music that you want to move to. But the only downside is that it seemed to me that she doesn't have some kind of viral dance. This is when a constantly repeating phrase before the chorus will be accompanied by some kind of movement. Well, that would be cool, and it would be even more exciting. Now I give you the floor. Tell me your opinion about this singer. Why, for example, does she not win, in your opinion?
No, actually. I want to start with the fact that you noticed that last year's ideas of Israel attracted the attention of many countries this year, and many girls wanted to prove themselves in the same capacity. Everyone wants to be like her. But she was really cool last year, and one of these representatives is Malta. But I will say so Malta is one of the best who is trying to repeat last year's success of Israel. Why? Because there are a lot of girls this year, but they are more or less, how should I say it? Vulgar Greece is also trying to repeat Israel last year, but we will talk about this later. Her costume seems to be better than others. That is, the stylist did a good job on it. And it really is such a cool costume. But what they showed us is what we saw. We don't know what will happen on stage. I hope everything will be very cool there too. Then she has a chance. If she dances like a goddess, there should be a dance with complex elements. I don't think a hook is necessary, because the hook is easy, but try to dance everyone.
But the main thing is that she can dance like that and not suffocate.
Of course, that's what I'm talking about. And she has the most important highlight, which can conquer many, is her gap-toothed smile. Many men like her. When she smiles, she's very mesmerizing. This is her specialty. Good. Well, the most important thing is that she likes what she does. When you look at her, you see that she's just crazy about what she does. And that's cool for an artist. That's the most important thing. Let's move on.
Well, let's go further. Our next performer, that is, the performer will be Israel.
Yes. Start talking about her, and it'll continue. Why do you think she can win? Or are you saying that she might be prevented from winning?
I would like to say that I can prevent you from winning because what will help her win? It's obvious when you watch this clip. Well, you look at her and think she's cool. I'll give you the floor to say that. But I'm going to say something that caused me dissonance, and now it's a seed in front of your words. What do you say about the fact that when she sings a very heavy, complex musical song with a very deep meaning, but at the same time she has very glassy eyes, and she smiles with them, always smiles when she sings, and it seems to me that this causes an imbalance. It's like she's not living this story, the one he sings about.
Maybe, on the contrary, this is its highlight.
But at the same time she smiles. Well, I've expressed my opinion. In the video it looks like this, but on stage it will look like it is unknown. Well, no matter how she lives it on stage, maybe everything will be different. But on the positive side, I just want to point out a small plus that her composition, her song structure are very interesting. Every time it starts quietly, and then it grows. So it's very interesting to the listener. That is, we move from a quiet sound to a more powerful one, then the sound goes out again. And this is very interesting. And just in the center of the song, at the transition to the highest point, she has this phrase, the was, and it's very memorable, and you want to listen to it over and over again. So I'm having a hard time finding a word for you at the door. What can you say? So what?
The message of this song is about the fate and inevitability of our fate, that it is written for us, people, and that's how it should be, yes, but we should always accept it with joy and not complain about our fate. This is a deep message. And the most important thing I want to say is why I highlighted it correctly. Because she has a very, very beautiful timbre voice. That is, I think that no woman, as a performer, has such a beautiful timbre at this Eurovision Song Contest. She has the most beautiful female timbre this year. The song she also sings is also very beautiful, very expensive, rich and tasteful. I would say so, that is, well, it's not cheap. I can say that they did a good job on it, that is, it's not cheap. Then it means that she has changes inside the execution. Yes, that's the mixed mood you've seen. I saw them differently. I saw something like a mixture of moods, sadness, tension with confidence, or a combination of strength and compassion, all in one, so it's intertwined, that is. In the eyes one thing, in the soul another, and I think on the contrary, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to watch. There is a very cool moment. At the very end there is a transition to high notes, which is very cool. And that's all it takes to win. That is, every song should have some kind of super cool, highlight. And this is its highlight. At the end, it makes a cool ending and finishes. It's very cool because some songs have a failure at this Eurovision Song Contest. Then the songs of some participants seem cool. But in the end everything breaks off, and there is no good ending for the song. But it's the opposite for her. I really liked it, and if she doesn't get lost on stage, it will be very cool. But the fact is that she has every chance of winning.
Yes, I totally agree with you, and I don't even know what else to say. This is another beautiful girl, very fashionable. And as you correctly said, there is a highlight in it that attracted the attention of Eurovision fans. And I agree with you that this is an expensive composition with a good meaning. It's not just that there are some superficial moments that they often like to reveal in songs. There are bright moments of life here, and it's written deeply, but it doesn't feel too heavy. Listening to it is, so to speak, atmospheric. That is, you are in a certain atmosphere. Do you like it? It's not something heavy that pumps you up and makes you depressed, but on the contrary, gives you even more hope and positivity.
Let's move on. Our next representative is a contender for victory. This is Great Britain. What can you say about it? Great Britain. What can I say about this? What is the most important thing in the song? It's about love. He sings about the moment. Someone sings globally about the future, about the global past. He lives in the present moment. Here he is at the moment, and he is living in the present moment. And it's very cool and bright. That's the way to live. Why can he win? The melody is very catchy. You listen and you get hooked. At least it gets me hooked. His image is very memorable. The melody is memorable. And the created image is very cool. They did a great job on the video and the image. I do not know, I just really like it very much. There's something real about him. Well, you know, it's not something fake. Well, I do not know, I really liked it. This song really resonated with me. I know she probably won't win. Actually, but I would be very happy if it was very high.
I want to express my opinion. I want to agree with you that the clip is very cool. It seems to me that they gave all their strength more to the video than to the song's composition. That is, the song itself is his voice. It's a melody. She is beautiful. For some reason, it reminded me of the style of the 2000s. But it seems to me that it is too smooth. That is tedious. But there is one interesting moment when a recitative appears, just in a voice at the end. The recitative is switched on between the singing. I really liked it. Apart from the musicality, that's what I really liked about this composition. It seems to me that this can also catch on, and it's good that it's done at the end, because we usually always remember exactly what we had at the end. For example, in a song or somewhere else. If this is some kind of bright moment, then it is remembered. Moreover, I wonder how they will play it on stage. Because it's all very cool in the video. It's mesmerizing. You are looking at the plot in the picture. The guy himself is very interesting. But is it possible to do all this on stage? And won't it be boring? There will just be this song on stage and no action. There will be no transitions from the house to the street. There won't be such an interesting design. Will it look good as well?
That's the point. The mistake of many countries is that they make very cool videos, just super cool videos. And then everything gets lost on stage, because everything is much simpler on stage. He can just go out and sing. And what they are counting on, most likely, they're counting on the fact that the audience will fall in love in advance and then vote. By the way, it often happens that the audience falls in love with a song in advance. And no matter how this performer performed, he may perform very poorly, but he still gets high scores. It happens so often. But sometimes it happens that the clip, on the contrary, was cool. The singer goes on stage, and people are disappointed. Therefore, it is unclear how it will sound. Go ahead.
Yes, let's move on.
The next country is Denmark.
We included Denmark. Why? Why? First of all, a love song about problems in relationships. A banal topic. The most hackneyed topic. But it always works. Why did we single her out? Very strong vocals. Female vocals. The strongest female vocals in this Eurovision Song Contest. I think there is no such vocal in this competition. What's next? It looks like American performers.
Beyoncé-type artist.
There's something Americanized about it. What else can I say? The jury. I think the jury might really like her because of her vocals. Although in recent years, the jury has even voted for songs without vocals in general, which is very strange. The composition of the jury has probably changed most likely. Now the jury is not the same as it was possible before. It seems to me that this song is worthy, although the bookmakers put it very low, in 26th place. And it has very few views, very few likes, and it seems that the audience does not like it. But I still think this song is worthy. What do you say?
Well, when I heard this song, on the contrary, it seemed to me that it was a typical Eurovision song. When you talk about Eurovision, you imagine these are the kind of songs. These are very hackneyed motives, but because it's a song in a typical Eurovision format, and because of the speed of epic Eurovision songs, it might suddenly just work and people will vote for it. Because well, how should I put it? They're used to it and they like it. Such music is possible because, as I said, it is played very often at Eurovision. It is such themes, such compositional structures, such strong voices. And you were right about the number. At one point, I thought she looked like Lauren. Now, something like that. Yes or no?
Well, there is something like that. You see, there were moments when some powerful songs were played, and they won. Of course, there is no super zest in it. It sounds formulaic. You could say that.
Yes, it is a template.
Formulaic, but strong vocals.
Well, it depends on what people need, and they need some kind of something cool to move. Or maybe it's just that they want to listen to strong vocals.
If they could recreate something so cool on stage, then it might help her. For example, at the end of the song, she would take off and fly or sit on the splits. Or something else. I do not know, but something needs to be done. Or some kind of flying dancers above her. Or something else like that. But there must be something.
Yes, I completely agree with you.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to the next track.
The next composition may absolutely be unexpected for someone, but I think that it is worthy, and this is Luxembourg.
Oh, Luxembourg.
According to the bookmaker's version, she is already in the 34th place. After a very long break, Luxembourg returned to Eurovision. Do you know what I noticed? What is the stereotype? There is a stereotype at Eurovision that there are certain countries that always perform poorly. It doesn't matter what song they play. They are always not ranked, never in the rankings. And there are countries like Sweden and Switzerland that are always good. They are considered successful at Eurovision. And they always have a high rating, even if they show some kind of slag. They are always high in the standings anyway. But I can't.
Yes, it's a cliché.
And this Luxembourg has not participated in Eurovision for a long time, because they have always been at the bottom of the table too. And they had some financial problems. And this year, they released this girl. I think she's as cool as everyone else who is very high in the standings right now. I think she's no worse than anyone. I think she has a very cool song. She's cool. She's cool. She has a great chorus. She has some things that are very memorable and attractive. I was very fascinated.
The language she sings in is so beautiful. How beautifully phrases are constructed. That is, words. And they are very tasty and beautifully pronounced. That is, the language itself may be beautiful, but perhaps, as, for example, in France, they can compose sentences in such a way that it will not sound at all. But here the combination of words sounds beautiful. And when she sings I'm on fire, I feel like I'm on fire. It sounds amazing after the verses and chorus. I think it's very interesting, and I agree with you. And how she's dressed, I mean, in black leather. And she has a ponytail on her head. And for us, not a clip was published, but her performance on stage was shown. And we can say that she will be able to dance and sing so that she has enough breath.
Yes, she sings live. You can see and feel it. And, first of all, she is very beautiful. That is, she has a wonderful appearance. They need to change the room. That is, they need to improve the room. Improve the room. And that's it. And I think they have a very good chance. This girl is very sensual and very real, and I really liked her. I wish Luxembourg great success. Good luck. And I think Luxembourg should be very worthy of a high place. And it would be fair to start the return from a very high point.
Yes, I'm asking you. Get away from the cliches, from what has been hammered into your head. That everything is always bad there, and they didn't perform because they were offended. Because they were never raised high, please step away from these cliches and just enjoy this music. It's really cool. And please write, do not forget your opinion in the comments. Who would you include in this rating? And artists and pop artists, who could win? Please write your opinion. This is very interesting. We have gathered to discuss it and are waiting for your comments. Likes and wish all the best to Luxembourg. And let's move on.
We took Denmark with female vocals and France with male vocals. This is the best male vocal. I think some people find it boring, others don't like it, but the vocals are very cool. If you listen carefully, this is probably the most vocal contestant this year.
Let me interrupt you right away, because I disagree with this 100%. I look at him, he sings about love, but at the same time it's like he's trying to live it. But he can't. In my opinion, he doesn't bring up the topic of what he sings about. I'm just listening to it and I can't watch it. I don't believe him at all. It seems to me that he has never experienced this in his life. I do not know.
His whole song is on the theme. Do you love me or not? Well, tell me. Do you love me or not? Do you like me or not? Well, in general. I do not know. I really liked it. I do not know. In general, I will not talk much about him. This is a more classic version of the performance. Without a number, without anything special. There is a category of people who like to vote for such songs. There are also categories that don't like it. We don't know what will happen at the vote. Maybe, in fact, this year everything is very unexpected, because we see that the applications are also different, except for the girls who are copying last year's Israeli application this year. This year, there is a special nomination among them, and one of them must definitely win in this nomination. Someone has to be above the other copyists, and all of them need to be separated into separate groups and hold a separate competition among them. Which of these girls will take a higher place than the rest? Because they have their own direct struggle with each other. But basically everyone else is very different.
I want to say that I don't like this song. I think, of course, that she won't win, but she may be in the middle. But I want to explain why I think so. I do not know why, but the French language is very beautiful, very sensual. There are many beautiful guttural sounds here, but there are absolutely no R sounds in this song. After all, this is the most beautiful language that I always listen to and enjoy. I listen to French applications every year. I like it, and France is always in my heart. But here I was just annoyed because the lyrics were built very badly. Why aren't they so sonorous? It should sound different.
This year, they transferred their sounds to another country, and we will talk about this country later. The other application is only these sounds. In general, another country will have them, but France decided to do without these S this year.
Interesting fact, at the same time, when I listened to the composition of France, it began to rain. That is, the sky also began to cry. The sky believed him, unlike me.
The next country that can compete for victory is Poland. And France, by the way, I forgot to say, is in 9th place at the bookmaker's office. That's high enough. But the next composition is from Poland. By the way, Her song style is different from all the songs of this year. This song is different from all the others. She has her own special style. An interesting clip, an interesting girl. Everything is done fashionably and modernly. There is a lot of naphthalene this year. And please note that we have selected the best of the best, and we have not included naphthal at all. There are few fashionable and modern applications this year. But Poland, I think, is one of the most fashionable. What do you say about this?
What I have noted is positive. It's her voice. Like you said, but the voice is only in the chorus. And in the verses, my voice seems to be deaf. It seems to me that she doesn't reveal herself in the verses. It sounds very boring. When she sings the chorus, I hear her as some kind of interesting growling timber. During the chorus, her voice gets louder, and I really like it. She has such an unusual voice in the chorus. The verse is so very boring, as if the voice is being drowned out. Now, if she could start with the chorus on stage, this song might have an even better chance. I think so. Her appearance is atypical. She is beautiful, but her appearance is not like everyone else's. Because, and if we look at other performers, they are all stereotypical. They all have the same fashionable clothes, the same approximately fashionable hairstyles, style of behavior, and all that. And this girl has very white hair and such an unusual face. It seems to me that her skin was specially bleached. It's like she's from another planet, and she's just an unusual alien beauty. The only drawback that seemed to me were only the verses, which I think sound boring.
Well, let's see, let's watch how events will develop. I think this application is interesting. I listened to it the very first, and it immediately sunk into my soul. Well, let's see.
Well, she keeps repeating the words water power. And because of that, you can kind of get carried away and dance like that.
The next country that I really liked. This is Belgium. As in the beginning, I also listened to it after Poland. I really liked it. She reminds me of Viking and Justin Timberlake. I think she's very cool too. Very modern, very extraordinary. And here again, the very important question is how he will behave on stage.
Well, this is a dilution of the women's team because the audience really wants beautiful young guys. So I watched the clip, and if they do the same thing on stage, namely their video was shot like this, that it can be moved to the stage. It seems to me that he is perfect for the stage. That is. There are a lot of microphones around this smoke, a man among them, and has covered in paint.
The meaning of the song is also in the moment. That is, they are there at some kind of party. He feels love and pain. It's also very cool at the moment. When you are in a moment when it is global for me, and the song is sung about this particular moment of experience, I think it should go very cool.
It seems to me that this is vape music. Sit, listen to it, and just get high. That is, it does not mean that you will dance right to it. But this is exactly what you are sitting and thinking about. You are getting high. You are pleased to listen to such music somewhere there. At a table, somewhere in something so beautiful. Maybe you are sitting in cafe or bar. Listen and enjoy. And so you mentioned it, that she reminds you of Justin Timberlake. And it reminds me of Sergei Lazarev, his song for the Eurovision Song Contest.
Someone else reminds me of Lazarev in this Eurovision Song Contest. You'll talk about it later.
I also want to say one more thing, for which I would single him out in the top. He has such an interesting piece at the end of the song. There he begins to divide the text clearly into bars, and it's so delicious and interesting. That is, at first everything is so smoothly, And then at the end, there is a fragment when it begins to clearly separate the sounds just like that. And it is so interesting. That is, it has an interesting ending. And it's so delicious and interesting. It is remembered and then sounds in my head. I think that's why he can take the first place.
I think he's a contender, and well, he's ranked 6th by the bookies, but I'm sure he's a contender. A real contender for victory. And Belgium, by the way, has never been rated highly. They always have cool applications. Belgium, my favourite country in the competition. Their applications for Eurovision are always cool, but with the exception of last year. Last year was an exception, but no one has ever appreciated them highly. I hope they will perform very well this year. Let's move on. And Ali is next.
And you, dear listeners, do not forget to put likes. Leave comments and subscribe if you are interested in the Eurovision theme. It seems to me that this is a very cool topic that can be discussed endlessly. And it gives very cool positive emotions. But let's go back to Italy. Come on and tell me what you think about it.
I mean, she's in 3rd place in the betting shop. She's very cool. The audience likes to look at her and listen to her. People like her. People really like her. At first, I had mixed feelings. It seemed to me that it was some kind of gypsy song, a gypsy singer, a gypsy woman in a modern costume. But then, when I listened to it a few times, I realized that actually, I really like this song. She is very funny, very incendiary. A combination of a national motif and a modern one. And this year at Eurovision, we have 3 countries that tried to do it. These are Armenia, Georgia and Italy. And they all combine national and modern motifs. Of all of them, Italy wins and handled it the best and did it the best.
And what do you think Ukraine doesn't have an ethnic group? They also added ethnicity.
Well, yes, they most likely have it too. And Ukraine belongs to this category too. But Italy, I think, is still the most interesting. Italy is unique. The girl is well done. Although all these countries have very interesting compositions. But Italy won among them. Here's what I'll say next. First of all, the girl is very brave and so hooligan. And because she's such a bully, that's what helps her become a winner. This is her inner self. This girl's hooliganism, this confidence and audacity helps her hold the stage and hold the audience. And it can help her win. She's a character. Therefore, I believe that only this can help Italy win. If there had been a more modest girl there and she had sung the same song, she would have failed. What do you think could help her?
What can help her? Well, first of all, it's the construction of the song. It has a clear rhythm, Italian motifs. You know, it's like Italian mafia movies, and there are girls that everyone loves. And these girls walk on the edge of a knife blade, and that's their entertainment. They're all so brave. And she dances like that, without complicated movements. And that's the beauty of it. You look at her, and she has so much frantic energy. And it is her energy that gets into my soul very much. She just has such a powerful voice. It was with this audacity that she just won my heart the first time. I realized that this was a great song. Because when you look at her, the way she dances, you get carried away with her. Well, that's it. She won my heart. It just reminded me of Italian mafia movies. A lot of people like these movies. Many viewers like her because she is such an interesting girl in her own right, as if she were an actress. She's all-mannered. I really liked it. And so I think it just all came together, and people can get hooked on it.
I liked it too. The audience really likes it. It's a success for her. Do you see how many contenders there are to win? It's interesting. It's an intrigue, you know? It's cool. That's how the competition should be.
Yes, and when there is one applicant, when everything is already decided, and everyone knows this winner, then it's not interesting at all. And here they are all so different. And everyone has their own twist, and it is unclear who will take the victory. This is aerobatics.
And our last contender for victory, which we are considering, is a very cool song. This is Switzerland.
Oh yes, Switzerland.
Switzerland ranks fifth among bookmakers. Well, we didn't include the first and second lines in the list of potential winners. We'll explain this later in the next video. Why don't we include the second line? We have our own opinion on this matter. I think these applications are cool. They are the best candidates. Well, figure out what can help or prevent the appearance of the second line.
I have so many emotions for this song. Only he evokes immediate emotions in me. He seems to me to be my favorite. He starts quietly and delightfully with his thin voice. And then the church choir turns on, and then such a sharp transition into rap. And it seems to me that it's somehow so cool. A combination of three styles in this song. It all looks so cool. The whole clip is very thoughtful. How he changes clothes. Pauses along the carriage. I haven't watched the translation of the song, but it seems to me that the meaning of the song of the composition should be interesting. Everything fits together, and it's such a recitative and a church choir, and its high notes. It gets interesting very quickly. I'm thrilled with this song. Just a bomb. Hell just blow everything up.
I want to say something about the message of the song. The message is that he was in hell. Then I returned from hell to life and said that he had found some unique code. And now he will live in a different way. That is, the theme is super. Very strong. Everything is done fashionably and modern and very relevant. From the first time, I could have thought that he could win because he's totally cool. And indeed, there is rap in this composition. And it's a mix of styles in the song. And anyway, the timbre of his voice is so fashionable, and that's all. Everything is straightforward here. I do not know how he implements all this on stage. How does Switzerland usually perform, and what kind of numbers does it do on stage? Nothing special is ever different. Switzerland doesn't seem to have ever had cool stage performances. But I think they should give him a very bright cool stage performance this year. Because the video clip is so cool. They can't make the entry worse in order to actually qualify, because they are applicants. They need to win. So come on, try your best. I hope their group, who will organize everything to cope with this. The screenwriters and designers will not let him down and will make him a cool number.
He can only improve the song with a number. It is not possible to spoil it. That is, even if there is something not very bright, he will still take his audience. I just wonder if he will be able to sing like that on stage with his own voice. Because in the video we understand that there is a purified voice. And so everything is recorded in the studio. Everything sounds so beautiful. If he falls short somewhere, his voice will be raised, and somewhere it will be lowered. But on stage, you need to sing yourself, unless the backing vocals will help. And what's also interesting about the clip is that he dresses in both men's and women's clothes. And I think overall it's cool. It looks great. This is very relevant for viewers. Europeans? All of them are just for such free movement, free self-expression in creativity. I think that could be a big plus because he's not afraid to do what he does. I really like the people in the clip on the train who are panicking and praying for something, as if they are in church. It's very cool. And the church choir. I think it's amazing.
Changing images and showing individuality. We are finishing for today. Please write your opinion. Comment on what you think about this. Either you have a different opinion, or you think that some songs are completely unworthy of being included in this list. Or maybe we forgot someone, or not only forgot, but intentionally did not include them. We will be scolded. Write something like this. Well, good or bad, we will be happy to read your comments. And then we can meet again and discuss everything anew.
Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can love everyone very much. We are glad that you are with us on the channel and everyone who has been with us for a long time. Everyone who just came to us, thank you so much for this viewing. Good mood to all and goodbye to all.